Martin Luther King Jr. was shot in Memphis, Tennessee on April 4th, 1968. He was critically injured. Dr. King fell into a coma. The world waited for news of his fate. There were no riots. Time passed. King faded into memory. There was no national holiday. Then, on October 27, 2000, 32 years after he was shot, Martin Luther King Jr. came back. King amazed the world when on November 2nd, 7 days after awaking from a 30-year coma, he showed up to vote in the 2000 presidential election. He was turned away due to voting irregularities. People took to the streets to celebrate the return of their king.
Oh, shit, my nigga, MLK! Hey, what's up, folks? Hey, that kind of dream shit was off the chain, nigga.
Okay.
That nigga roll, my nigga Martin.
Thank you very much.
He learned the streets named after him weren't very faithful.
Well, you absolutely thought that really happened? Well, absolutely, once again, it was from the cartoon. Well, welcome back to honoring Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Well, as you can see on this speech, I wouldn't call it a speech, I mean a quote. I want young men and young women who are not alive today to know and see that these new privileges and opportunities did not come without somebody suffering and sacrificing for them. Those are the words from the man himself, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Well, as you may know, because in African American history, we have been suffering and sacrificing for a lot of things: racism, segregation, slavery, and of course police brutality, like the riots and all that. There have been powerful African Americans who had lived for our America. Jackie Robinson, Harriet Tubman, Thurgood Marshall, Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, Rosa Parks, Arthur Ashe, and a few others of our history. But there's only been one man who has gave us the revolution that we needed for all African Americans to stand up for our America. And that man is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. In that famous I Have a Dream speech, that speech had lifted all of us to stand up against those who are against us, to not give us a better America, a better place in the world. However, even though I was born in the 80s, don't believe in racism, don't believe in slavery, don't believe in segregation. Even though my family was back then, I don't know. But I do believe in who my friends are. What the things I like to do, what no white man can tell us what to do. Because African America is our America. And if you believe in the words of Dr. Martin Luther King, that I have a dream that all nations will be united as one, or anything like that, such words can stand against segregation, racism, police riots, and slavery? Well, those words from the man himself can prove you a point to see the error of the white man's ways, help them see the light of what African America can accomplish, what the white man can. So African America wouldn't be alive today if it wasn't for King, the true King of Kings. Even if it was Martin Luther King wouldn't be alive today, ever since being shot at Memphis, because as a kid growing up, I took a family vacation up to Memphis and saw the landmark and saw the entire site where Dr. Martin Luther King was been shot. I mean, it was like it was just like wanted to see American history. I mean, history of our African American kind. Yeah, I just wanted to tell you that in a heartful moment. Yeah, but it was great. It was great actually seeing such plays to remind everybody about one man's history, how he sacrificed, how he suffered and sacrificed to make African Americans unite as one against of all nations against. I mean to have a place in America that because if you believe in the dream, you can believe in everything that he stood for, everything we all stand for. African Americans out there will still have the dream for a better world. Well, therefore I said that. Well, even though Dr. Martin Luther King's Day isn't the only important day of our American life, but also the life of our newly president inauguration. The newly president Barack Obama, yes, will be finally inaugurate himself to the White House. Well, even though the inauguration ceremony was last night on HBO, of all the musicians and great celebrities attending to spread their words and their music for the newly crowned president. So congratulations to our newly president, Barack Obama, to having his moment on having his moment on Dr. Martin Luther King Day. All right then.
I promise of what's to come, and I'ma remain a soldier till the war is gone.
We'll be right back.